boom! Just as the political landscape was about to change dramatically, President Joe Biden made headlines by signing an executive order that many are saying could outfox his predecessor, Donald Trump. This strategic move, made during the final week of Biden's own presidency, isn't just a formality. It's a powerful statement about the state of our nation's cybersecurity infrastructure. Hey everyone! In an era where digital threats loom large from global adversaries, Biden's executive order is not merely a last-minute gesture. It's a bold initiative meant to strengthen America's defenses against a relentless tide of cyber attacks. With the transfer of power imminent, the stakes could not be higher. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth analysis on US politics. Let's break it down. Right from the outset of his term, President Biden was confronted by daunting cybersecurity challenges that many experts argue got worse under the previous administration. We're talking about sophisticated Russian hackers infiltrating critical US government agencies and Chinese cyber actors targeting essential infrastructure. And who could forget the devastating ransomware attacks on our healthcare systems during a global pandemic? It's crystal clear. The cyber world has become the new battleground, where rules of engagement are constantly evolving. Here's the uncomfortable truth, folks. In today's world, conflicts are rarely fought on the front lines that we're used to. Instead, they play out behind screens, often hidden from the public eye. Cybercriminals can disrupt economies, steal critical data, and erode public trust, all without a single shot fired. Biden's executive order isn't just a response. It's an urgent call to action, recognizing that America's cybersecurity posture was in desperate need of an overhaul. So, what does this mean for the incoming Trump administration? The question looms large. How will this order influence the future trajectory of US cybersecurity policy, especially given the palpable political tension surrounding it? Stick around as we dive deep into the implications of this historic executive order, how it could reshape our cybersecurity landscape, and what it means for the ongoing tug-of-war in American politics. You won't want to miss it. Let's get into it. In an age where the digital landscape is as treacherous as it is transformative, President Biden's recent executive order emerges as a crucial safeguard against the rising tide of cyber threats. This sweeping directive is not merely a reaction to past events, but a proactive strategy to fortify the nation's cybersecurity framework, weaving a mantle of protection over federal systems, critical infrastructure, and the expansive realm of the private sector. At the heart of this order lies the imperative of software supply chain security, with cybercriminals increasingly exploiting vulnerabilities within software supply chains. The mandate for vendors to certify secure development practices has never been more timely or essential. This initiative sets a precedent that aims to eliminate weak links in the software chain, ensuring that only resilient software is utilized within government systems. By establishing these protocols, the order endeavors to shield the nation from the insidious tactics employed by cybercriminals, making our digital territory significantly less inviting for those with malicious intent. In tandem with this protective measure, the order also heralds a new era of federal cybersecurity enhancements, with the introduction of robust endpoint detection and response, EDR tools, and phishing-resistant authentication methods. The federal government is readying itself against a relentless onslaught of sophisticated cyber threats that evolve with alarming speed. These enhanced protocols are not mere updates. They are lifelines designed to keep pace with an ever-changing threat landscape. Perhaps one of the most forward-thinking aspects of the executive order is its commitment to quantum-resistant cryptography. As quantum computing looms on the horizon, threatening to render existing encryption methods obsolete. The order seeks to transition federal agencies to quantum-resistant standards by 2030. This ambitious goal underscores an acute awareness of the technological arms race unfolding in cyberspace, arming our agencies against adversaries poised to exploit these groundbreaking advancements. Furthermore, by advocating for the integration of artificial intelligence for cyber defense, the order recognizes AI's transformative potential in safeguarding critical infrastructure. In a world where speed is synonymous with survival, leveraging AI for vulnerability assessments and threat identification is crucial. This innovation places our defenses on the cutting edge, enhancing our preparedness against potential breaches. The order specifically addresses cybersecurity in space, with outer space emerging as a new digital battleground. The directive underscores the importance of robust cybersecurity measures for space systems and ground stations, vital to national security. Keeping these systems secure is no longer optional. It is a strategic necessity in a world where vulnerabilities can lead to catastrophic repercussions. Moreover, the emphasis on open-source software management speaks to the very foundation of federal systems today. Encouraging best practices for securing open-source software is vital for maintaining system integrity and resilience. Given the extensive reliance on these solutions, the call for heightened security measures is both prudent and essential. Lastly, the establishment of a cyber trust mark for consumer Internet of Things (IoT) devices introduces rigorous new vendor requirements aimed at bolstering private sector security by mandating minimum cybersecurity practices for federal contractors. The directive aspires to create a more secure environment, not just within government, but across all sectors reliant on technology. Despite the comprehensive nature and significant foresight embedded within this executive order, one question looms large. Why was such a crucial initiative rolled out at the tail end of Biden's presidency? The timing is a political calculus. Biden's executive order has undeniably strategic timing, aiming to secure a more lasting legacy, while simultaneously constraining the agenda of the incoming Trump administration. The political implications are multifold and cannot be understated. By implementing such sweeping initiatives just days before leaving office, Biden may leave Trump with the Herculean task of navigating a directive that he did not shape, potentially resulting in adverse political consequences if the directives are not properly executed. The compressed timelines imposed by the executive order, requiring agencies to submit actionable plans within 90 to 180 days, contrast sharply with the realities of bureaucratic delay and budget constraints that federal agencies routinely face. This may set the stage for partisan blame games, creating a narrative that could be favorable to Democrats seeking to undermine Trump's role in national security in future campaigns. Additionally, by placing firm deadlines around key initiatives, Biden's order risks overwhelming agencies already grappling with competing priorities. Such pressures may lead to underfunded mandates, generating the very vulnerabilities that the executive order seeks to address. If the incoming administration struggles to keep up with Biden's ambitious agenda, it provides an opportunity for Democrats to point fingers, framing the Republicans as ineffective stewards of national security. The role of CISA at the heart of Biden's cybersecurity strategy is the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. Established under the Trump administration, CISA is tasked with safeguarding national critical infrastructure. By placing additional responsibilities on this agency and substantially enhancing its role via the new executive order, Biden not only affirms CISA's relevance, but also ensures that it remains indelibly stitched into the governance of cybersecurity policy moving forward. One of the most significant features of the executive order is the requirement for CISA to validate the secure development practices of vendors selling software to federal agencies. This could pave the way for heightened scrutiny on the private sector's role in cybersecurity, raising the question of how this balance will be achieved in a space often characterized by a competitive marketplace. However, the challenge lies ahead for both CISA and the Trump administration. As CISA gears up to take on greater responsibilities without a permanent leadership team, questions arise concerning how efficiently the agency can implement and enforce these new standards. The timing of Biden's executive order, which strengthens CISA just as the Trump administration steps in, adds yet another layer of complexity to the already fraught political landscape, a tenuous roadmap or a burdensome minefield. While the executive order lays out a robust vision for the future of American cybersecurity, the ambitious timeline poses significant challenges for an incoming administration that has its own priorities. The balance between the demands of compliance and the responsibilities of governance could create a precarious situation for Trump's team from day one. The perception of Biden's executive order as a roadmap for addressing critical cybersecurity challenges versus a burdensome minefield will depend heavily on the new administration's strategic decision-making. On one hand, the focus on areas such as artificial intelligence, quantum-resistant cryptography, and software supply chain security aligns with contemporary global concerns and highlights the need for a proactive approach to cybersecurity. Conversely, the rigorous mandates and tight deadlines may overwhelm federal agencies already operating under significant resource constraints. If the Trump administration finds itself unable to adequately address the responsibilities outlined in Biden's order, it may face backlash from both the public and political opposition. The optics of failing to fulfill key cybersecurity initiatives could damage Trump's reputation, especially as attacks on critical infrastructure continue to escalate. Democratization of cybersecurity. As the order mandates engagement from various sectors, it emphasizes the necessity of a cooperative approach towards cybersecurity. Biden's intent to democratize cybersecurity, making it a shared responsibility, aligns with a broader direction toward inclusivity in national security matters. The fundamental understanding that cybersecurity underpins not just governmental functions, but also the day-to-day lives of citizens, is a crucial aspect of the modern digital landscape. This transformation requires not only robust federal action, but a vigorous alliance between private sector stakeholders, local governments, and citizens. By leveraging shared information and resources, communities can build stronger defenses against cyber threats, effectively reducing the attack surfaces that adversaries exploit. However, democratization also brings forth the challenge of ensuring equity. As the US government moves toward implementing sophisticated cybersecurity measures, it must remain vigilant about the disparities present across socioeconomic groups, ensuring every American has access to effective cybersecurity tools. And knowledge can be difficult. Vulnerable populations may be ill-equipped to navigate advanced technologies, making them easy targets for cybercriminals. Within this cooperative framework, it is equally essential for policymakers to foster an environment that encourages innovation in cybersecurity. By promoting competition through an equitable regulatory landscape, they can support technologies that not only advance national security, but also enhance citizen engagement and confidence. Implications for the Trump administration. The incoming Trump administration, bolstered by a roster of seasoned tech experts, now faces the unenviable task of implementing directives that they had no hand in shaping. The choices they make in response to Biden's executive order hold significant weight, posing challenges that reach beyond immediate policymaking to broader electoral implications. One scenario involves fully embracing Biden's cybersecurity measures with a view toward national security continuity. This path could foster bipartisan consensus around essential cybersecurity strategies and position Trump as a leader committed to safeguarding American interests. On the other hand, opting to delay, amend, or repeal these initiatives could lead to partisanship, with every action likely scrutinized for political motivations. Navigating this maze of opportunity and constraint requires strategic foresight and an understanding of broader threats. The Trump administration will need to assess not just what actions are politically prudent, but what approaches genuinely enhance national security. By prioritizing transparency, engaging with industry experts, and building bipartisan coalitions, Trump could effectively distance himself from partisan conflict while advancing cybersecurity objectives. Unpacking the risks of partisan conflict, the ideological divisions that often characterize U.S. politics must be tempered with a keener understanding of the collective risk posed by cybersecurity threats. The cyber realm traverses both policy and practice, and shifting priorities could leave gaps in the nation's defenses that adversaries are quick to exploit. Simple partisan squabbles over such a critical issue risk undermining the fundamentally national security imperative at play. If Biden's executive order truly is to lay the groundwork for a more substantial cybersecurity strategy, its success hinges on a fundamental commitment to nonpartisanship. Cybersecurity has historically acted as a unifying issue, a shared concern for both parties. An effective strategy must draw together voices from across the political spectrum to drive home the importance of national resilience against digital threats. While Biden's last-minute maneuvers may seem politically charged, they represent a clarion call for sustained urgency in cybersecurity. Competing factions must rise above entrenched party lines to forge a future where digital threats do not translate into real-world chaos.